Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for joining us for this live. My name is Zeno Lancaster. I'm the owner of Lancaster Law Firm. It is really bright outside, so hopefully this lighting will get a little better here in a few minutes. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to talk about various things. I'm going to talk about for closings, client expectations, the different things that the different circumstances you need to be aware of that can affect your closing. We get these questions a lot, anything from, we've got moving trucks lined up, which seems to be what folks feel is a trump card to any legal problem or lending problem we have come up for a closing. Oh, but did you know we have a moving truck set up? Contingent sales, Friday closings we're going to talk about. What is involved on the seller side and some tips there. Loan deals, what to expect, how to manage your clients' expectations and some tips there. Cash deals, some pro tips there. Who are you waiting on? We get that question a lot. Well, closing's Thursday. We don't have what we need. Who are we waiting on? I'm going to talk a little bit about that so that you can know what to expect as you approach closing, especially for some of you newer agents. And communication, because I think communication is very important, and it's not just a one-way street with trying to get your attorney or a lender to communicate well. It has to be everybody, and we're going to talk about that so that you can help make sure that it's all happening, because it's a team effort, and we need everybody on top of this stuff to make sure it's all happening, okay? So first of all, I'm going to jump in on moving trucks. We get this every week. Hey Zeno, we've got a closing on Thursday, just making sure everything's okay. The moving truck's lined up. Guys, do what you will. I know your clients sometimes do what you will, or despite your advice, throw some overlap into your closings. Don't line up moving trucks the morning of your closing. Don't do it. I want you to comment with your excuses and reasons for doing this. Don't do it. I'm just telling you, don't do it. And if you're going to do it, be prepared for it to get all screwed up, because as soon as you line up that moving truck, something's going to go wrong. There's a title issue, the seller delay. There'll be an attorney delay. Not us, hopefully, but it could happen with others, especially. And lending delays, all kinds of delays. You know how this is real estate. It's crazy. With so many variables, lining up a expensive, probably deposit, non-refundable deposit moving truck. It's living dangerously, guys, and if you can avoid it, avoid it. Line it up for the next day or two. People can stay in a hotel, believe it or not. People can if they're selling their home, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. If they're selling to buy, guys, that's living dangerously. And the biggest problem with moving trucks is, it's not that they exist. We love our moving trucks and our moving people. It's not that you're getting someone to help you move. I would do it too. It's that we have too much in this industry of realtors and clients telling lenders and attorneys, hey, we understand that you have this hurdle that you have to jump over or issue, and that it's important, and that it's really important for your liability and for your loan and for you to certify title to our buyers and all that. But did you know that we have a moving truck lined up Thursday? Guys, that's way too often used. Your attorneys and your lenders are not just sitting on your file. We didn't put it on a shelf. We don't get paid until you get paid. We don't get this troublesome closing off our books until we close. And we're not sitting on it, I promise. Throwing that moving truck excuse out there, and there are others, they'll be homeless. Our clients are going to be homeless. Guys, I can tell you pretty confidently that I've never had a client that had to live on the streets. And there are lots of real folks that suffer homelessness. Please stop using that word. Please stop using the word homeless for your clients. It's making everyone roll their eyes at you. And I'm just telling you, because I see it and commiserate with some of them. We're not sitting on your files. We're not causing your clients to be homeless, and we're not screwing up their moving truck. In my opinion, and I'm often wrong, planning on their part created that, okay? There are no circumstances where we can't plan ahead and make sure that moving trucks and lodging and all of that is in place should something not close on time. And in this market, and forever, honestly. But in this market, things can happen. You need to tell your clients, listen, 90% chance, 95% chance this closes on time and without a hitch, but it might not. We need to, what's our backup plan for a day or two or whatever in case it doesn't? Why not have that conversation with your clients? Getting it planned early on and up front is going to save everyone a lot of grief. If you truly feel like they're homeless, if we don't close on time, then sure, you need to get this planned ahead of time so that they don't end up being homeless. And moving trucks, I get it. They're busy and it's hard to line up. Do whatever you can to give yourself some overlap. Move a day or two later, even if you do close on time. What's the big deal there? Yeah, I'm just telling you, if it's me, it's what I would do. It's what I've done in the past. I'm not putting myself through that grief. And I'm certainly not going to be someone who is angry at someone else because I had to do everything the day of in a very complicated transaction with sometimes 5 or 6 different professional offices involved. So just my 2 cents there on moving trucks. And again, would love to hear other people's opinions, even different ones, in the comments below. Contingent sales. Those are pretty rare right now because if you're selling your property and you get 27 offers and one of the offers is contingent on the buyer selling their home, you're probably going to take one of the other 26. But still, they do happen. And if it's a good enough offer, you might still want to take that offer. There's nothing wrong with those offers. But you need to know, now you have 2 transactions that all have to happen on the same time. And a lot of people still try, again, to close on the sale of their property in the morning and close on the purchase of their new property in the afternoon. That is certainly something we can do. We can help you with that. But when I talk to people about it, I say, guys, we can handle this. We can do it if everyone else is on board, everyone else involved, which can be 4 different sets of attorneys sometimes on 2 transactions, 2 different lenders on 2 transactions, a buyer on the first one we don't know, a seller on the second one we might not know, all the things, different counties, different county recording times, different lender approval times, all of that. Be aware that you're doubling your variables when you do a back-to-back contingent sale closing. And if it were me, I would sell my home, find a really nice hotel or Airbnb, and then stay there a night or 2 and take my time, getting into the new home. That's just what I would do. Because there's just so much. It gives you a buffer in case it doesn't all close on the same day. And 50-50, guys, honestly. I do these all the time. 50% of the time, someone involved in that process delays the first closing, which delays the second one, or they delay the second one anyway. 50% of the time, I would say at least. So that's a big percentage. I would almost say that the odds are that you won't close both on the same day with all those variables in place, as busy as everyone as busy as everyone is right now. So something to keep in mind. And let's see, I've got, bear with me, guys. So David Plower just commented, old house and new house will do our best, but they should have a plan B. Short-term rental, hotel, stay with family, etc. Too many things can go wrong. He's absolutely right. And he's probably seen it before, and it's usually not my fault. It's usually not the agent's fault. It's always some little quirk somewhere and it doesn't take a whole lot to hold up a closing, guys. Sometimes one unsigned page in a buyer's loan package will delay funding approval. That's why when you're closing with me and I'm more interested in getting your signatures on the line than the story about your dog, it's because I'm just trying to get you in your house, and I try to be interested in the dog. I'm a dog guy. But if I seem a little distracted, it's because I'm paying attention to make sure we get all those signatures. So again, so many things can hold those up. So it's good to have a plan B, like David said. Friday closings. I don't understand why anyone closes on Friday. I mean, anyone. If you don't record, and I think it's just because folks don't understand that we sign and we own it. I have tons of people say, okay, do we own it now? No, never. So you sign, let's say we get everything we need done by sometime on Friday, which includes on a loan transaction, getting final settlement documents from your lender, final loan documents, all that. Let's say we get the seller side over to them to review in time, all that. Then we sign. Depending on which county we're in, that doesn't always give us up until 5 to get recorded. If you don't record on Friday, you're not recording until Monday. So there goes your weekend. You're probably planning on moving that weekend. You're always, whenever we don't record on Friday, that's when everyone had all the plans. Whenever we do, they're like, oh, it didn't matter, we're moving in Tuesday. But in any event, please, Monday through Thursday, guys, give yourself a buffer in case it doesn't record until the next day. You get it done on Friday. It will also spread you out because most of you aren't going to listen to me on this, and Fridays are so busy. Why not work on a day where every professional you're working with is a little less busy, and you can be a little bit more of a priority because of bandwidth issues. Again, we love our folks that close on Friday, but if it's me, Monday through Thursday, guys, all day. That's another thing to keep in mind. Pro tip, take it or leave it. Some pro tips on different, whoever you're representing and what kind of transaction they have going on. So if you're a seller side, you got it made. We got to sign a deed, a lien affidavit, a 1099, sometimes some other things depending on how they own the property or if they have liens or whatever. But it's usually 4 to 6 or 7 documents max. And some of those have to be notarized. Then the settlement statement we can do over email, guys. And scan and that kind of thing, DocuSign, that sort of thing. So really what I'm saying is, sellers, you can come in and sign as soon as the attorney gets your documents ready. You can come in and sign a little early if you want. Knock that out and then look at the settlement statement over email. You can also come in and sign it all at once. Up to you, but what I'm saying is planning-wise, if you're trying to move to Bermuda, you can get your stuff signed and look at the settlement statement from Bermuda, and we'll wire you the money. So keep in mind that you don't have to come in on closing date. Sellers, ask your attorney, ask your paralegal if you're trying to come in and sign a day or two earlier or whatever. We can usually make that happen. It makes things a lot easier to go ahead and knock your side out, have it ready. We don't do anything with the deed or the settlement statement. We hold it in trust. We don't do anything that's part of our duties as escrow agent until the buyers have signed. We have all the money, so you're in no risk of losing the property or anything like that by signing early. In fact, it makes no difference if you sign early or the day of. We're still holding things in trust until we make sure things are correct and we have all the money. So it's no bigger or smaller risk there, in my opinion. So keep that in mind if that helps with scheduling all the live things going on revolving a sale. And especially contingent sellers. If you're selling and you're trying to buy, sign your seller stuff early. Why not? Help things get done a little faster that way. We're probably not going to offer that just because we can't guess at what you want. So if ask us for it. If you have closing date June 25th, and we're going to say, okay, we'll see you June 25th. If for some reason it just helps us, we might offer for you to come in earlier. But otherwise, you're always welcome to say, okay, can we come in on June 22nd and go ahead and knock it out? We're almost always able to accommodate that, and it actually helps usually everyone. So don't forget to ask. What else? Cash deals, cash buyers. Everyone loves a cash buyer. You guys have it even easier. I do highly recommend you do a walkthrough of your property. So I'll always recommend that. The biggest horror story I've ever had on that is the home was vacant. The agent told them they didn't need to do a walkthrough because it was vacant, and it had been a month or two since they'd looked at it. Looked great then. What's the worst that could happen? No one's living there. We closed, recorded. I didn't know anything about that. And pipes had burst. The whole place was flooded. And I'm pretty certain that agent had to pay to get that all cleaned up, and I don't know how much that cost. So always do a walkthrough. But anyway, cash deal, cash buyers. There are 2 things you have to do to purchase a home with cash. Wire me the money and sign a settlement statement. Okay, again, sellers, like we talked about, settlement statement can be signed over email. So that means you never actually have to come to my office. You're all obviously welcome to, and we can go through your settlement statement. It'll take about 5 minutes. But most folks just opt not to because it's, why drive somewhere for 5 minutes if they don't have to, and they've got they're trying to move in or trying to whatever, or they're not in town. they're buying from afar. So keep in mind, we can do those pretty simply. And other than the fact that I always recommend you come and do a walkthrough of your property, you sort that out at your own risk. We can do those pretty simply. So next thing, loan closings, and this is important. So we get the question all the time, Zeno, where's the final CD? When are you going to send us the final CD? There is a huge confusion, or I don't know what's being taught about this in schools, whatever. Here's the process, guys, on a loan transaction. You get it under contract, you send that contract to the lender and the attorney. The attorney starts on title work, engages the clients, and eventually sends over title work, title insurance commitment, and some of our fees, that sort of thing, our wire instructions, our professional liability insurance deck page. We send that to the lender. Then we wait on the lender to send us a preliminary CD. We usually get it right around the same time they send it out to the borrowers. That CD is never correct, and that's not a slight to the lenders. It's an estimate, okay? We then use that preliminary CD to start balancing. So all the things that are not on there that should be, HOA dues, prorations, or payments, our fees, survey fees, seller attorney fees, commission credits, all kinds of weird little quirky things that can go on a settlement statement. We work to balance with them. We will not have a final CD for you until we balance with the lender, at which point they send us a final CD. We use our own accounting software to balance with them. We don't draft the final CDs. They don't come from us. As soon as we get them from the lender, you get them from the lender, okay? So keep that in mind. That's also typically when we get loan documents from the lender, when that CD is balanced. So your attorneys have a little control over that, just because if they're waiting on us to balance with them, then yeah, they're waiting on us to balance with them. But that's all. If we're staying on top of that, this stuff is coming from the lender. And again, this is not a slight to any lenders. This is just letting everybody understand where these things are coming from and who to ask. You can always ask us, is the final CD ready? And we can say yes or no. Although if it's yes, you should have it, okay? Again, we don't sit on these things. We try to get these things out so we've got lots of files so we can start working on the next file. So keep in mind, final CD comes from lender, okay? Sorry, my computer, okay, there we go. What else? Communication, I'll finish with this, guys. The biggest complaint about real estate attorneys is lack of communication. I've emailed, I've called, I haven't heard back, and it's a big deal. It's a big transaction. You want to make sure that everything's in line. Work on building trust with your closing attorney. You should not be working, in my opinion, with any professional, honestly, lender, surveyor, inspector, attorney, that you have to micromanage. You don't have the bandwidth for that. Go find a buyer, a home, go sell a home. Okay? You shouldn't be having to micromanage. You're always welcome to ask questions and you know, all that. But be careful. If you're emailing any professional every day, you're micromanaging. And either you shouldn't be working with that professional because you shouldn't have to micromanage them, or you're micromanaging them needlessly and you shouldn't. They're on top of it and you know it deep down. So keep that in mind. Communication is important, but also if you have an attorney or lender or anyone that wants to be a good communicator and we have to stop and answer your emails every hour, it's slowing us down. So please keep that in mind. Please be responsible with your emailing and find professionals you can trust that are doing the job, so you don't have to feel like you have to email every hour, that kind of thing. So also emails. Emails are important. We can copy in 10 people in an email and make sure everyone's on the same page. It gets things in writing for people's files, all of that. They're great. I prefer them, honestly, for that reason, for liability reasons, for all kinds of reasons. Make sure you're putting the property address or at least the buyer's name in the subject line. Appraisal ? Is not a good subject line. I need an answer on this. 4 exclamation marks is not a good subject line. That email I'm going to read when I can, not urgently. A property address, a borrower name, I can, as I'm working on files, search those and knock it out quickly. So can my staff. RE:blank is not a good subject line. I'm just telling you guys, if you're doing that, expect delays. I personally, my staff are probably worse. I get about at least 100 emails a day. And I churn through them and triage them as best I can. If people put in good subject lines, boy, do I catch those faster. And it just is what it is. So we're trying to be a good communicator to you. Please do your part. If you see a client send an email with a bad subject line, improve it. Reply all and improve it. Add in the property address, add in the borrower name. It'll take 2 seconds. If you are emailing and you know there's a paralegal in the file and you didn't copy them in, expect a delay, guys. Same with lenders if they have assistants, everything like that. We have these staff to help us communicate well. Please make sure they're copied in so that we can maintain that communication standard. I've had to go as far as, you'll see this in my email reply. If you haven't copied in the paralegal, expect a delay, because I'm going to get to it as fast as I can, but these paralegals help us make sure communication's quick and fast. So we want to make sure that everyone's doing their part there on communication. And I think that's about it, guys. Please invite anyone to the group that you think would benefit from what we do here. Please comment on any questions or comments. Again, disagreements, whatever. I'd love to hear it. It helps me. Sometimes I'm often wrong, so it helps me adjust what I'm doing. Also, any future topics you'd like to see on these lives. We try to go every Tuesday at 9. I was a little late today. I got 3 calls right every time I tried to get started on real estate agents needing answers. So sometimes that happens. Again, I'm Zeno Lancaster with Lancaster Law Firm. Got a great team over here. We've got should be 4 attorneys this week spread across 3 offices. A staff of about 10 paralegals, assistants, title abstractors, and whatnot. I'd love to work with you if you haven't worked with us before, and just let us know what we can do to make that happen. We are taking closings. We're getting that question every week. I just posted about this. 30 days is normal, guys. Yeah, we can take your 30-day closing. We can take it a little faster if you don't mind paying a rush fee. And most folks, it's a small rush fee. It's one of the smallest things they're paying for at the closing. So we're seeing about a 90% approval rate of those rush fees. It helps people get under contract. It helps folks get their deals done on time. And yeah, I hope you'll connect with us on Instagram at flying_casual, at Lancaster Law Firm. Please like the Lancaster Law Firm page on Facebook and join our group. If you want an invite to our group, please message me or comment below and I'll get you in there. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.